Chapter 32 is upon me. Yes, I'm saying it. Happy birthday to Brian H. Waters.
No, baby, that's for somebody else. We're just going to keep you right where you're at right now.
It doesn't matter what you think.
The Wrestling Realm presents Break It Down with Brian H.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of Break It Down with Brian H. Now, as I said at the top of the game, so by the time you're listening, it's already my birthday or my birthday has passed. But so this week, because I'm not taping on Tuesday because I'm going to celebrate my birthday, I may watch Smackdown live as it's happening, or I may watch it later. So what I said, you know what? Here's a treat. I'll do two shows. One, I'll review SmackDown, and one, I'll review Raw. But, of course, on SmackDown, I'll probably have more, so you'll get more of the Wrestling for the Culture. I won't do that on this episode. I have one question in so far, so I'll answer that question on this one. But if there's more questions, still give you time. So, but, you know, so like I said, two episodes. So make sure you're following the Wrestling Realm. Make sure you're subscribed on all the YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, you know, everywhere we're at. Make sure you're there. So let's get right into it. We ended Raw with Ronda Rousey defeating Alicia Fox. So how did this match come about? Last week, Alicia Fox and Alexa Bliss, you know, they keep messing with Ronda Rousey as if she's not the most dangerous woman in the world. And they said, you know what? Kurt Angle made the decision. Next week, Ronda Rousey's going to have her debut match. And obviously it was, you know, she toyed with her, and it was short. Armbar, how else would you expect? But it was Ronda Rousey's first singles match on Monday Night Raw. I thought it was good. We can see, like I said, time and time again, she's invested. So what I want to see is Ronda Rousey doing this as we get into Monday Night Football season, as I said before. But what I thought this was great, you know, we're going to have Ronda and Alexa Bliss. This shows, and Kurt Angle said this during the opener, how he respects Rousey because she's there every week, and he wishes he could say the same about another former UFC champion, that being Brock Lesnar. So, nonetheless, that's, you know, Ronda Rousey goes over. She makes a promise, you know, she's going to take the title from Alexa Bliss. I'm wondering what's going to happen. Will we see Ronda Rousey win, or will we see Natalya turn on her and ultimately create an FU? Does Ronda Rousey really need to be WWE Raw Women's Champion? That's what I want to know. Or will she get it later, perhaps when we get the matchup between her and Charlotte? Is that when she'll get the title? Who knows? So let's move on. Monday Night Raw, we had open up with, like I said, Kurt Angle running his mouth, and then, you know, Roman Reigns, you know, because the constable, Baron Corbin, who's just, like, annoying, Roman Reigns came out there, and we got an impromptu match. So I'm watching this, and to be honest with you, I think I was, you know, it was on, and I was looking at it, but I was into other things. It's no doubt Roman's putting on great matches. You know, there's nothing to, like, write home about. But here's the thing. He doesn't put on bad matches. But I'm watching, and I'm just watching, you know, this with him and Baron Corbin, as, you know, it's a good, interesting dynamic because Corbin's so annoying. So it was good to see him get his butt whooped. And then we saw that, you know, Seth Rollins was scheduled to face Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. So Kurt Angle said, all right, you know, you have to get your partner of your choice. Well, he was going to choose Tyler Breeze, and Roman said, no, come on, man. I got your back. Don't worry about it. That would lead to, you know, we thinking, all right, here we go. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. However, there was the phone ringing, and Kurt Angle got a phone call from Stephanie. She pretty much said, no, Roman's in the main event. I don't want him wrestling twice on Monday night. So I started asking a question. Why is it that Kurt Angle cannot be an effective GM? Everything he's doing lately seems to be undermined, whether it's Baron Corbin or even Stephanie. So where are we going with this? Will we soon see Kurt Angle wrestle on a full-time, well, not full-time basis, but more? I just don't understand, like, why does she need to constantly stop him from doing what he wants and what he needs to do? So, I don't get it. It ended up being a handicap match. Seth Rollins would obviously lose to Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. And you know what? Just because, like I said, this isn't your normal weekly, the same show, I'm going to just go ahead and throw the question in here from Jaleesa at amazing_J2698. She said, who do you think Ambrose feud should be with when he returns? And the reason why I bring that up, because a lot of people were hoping that this was going to be the night Dean Ambrose returned. But the guy's a former WWE champion, former tag team champion, former Intercontinental champion. Yes, he was a Grand Slam champion. This isn't a guy you just bring back on a random show. It's got to be worth something. You either give him a promo package or you surprise us at, SummerSlam, maybe. But I think, I would love to see him and Seth Rollins feud. I would love to see him interfere in that match at SummerSlam. I just think I enjoyed their matches. So let's see it from the opposite. We saw Seth as the heel and Ambrose as the face. Let's see it in the opposite way. Or maybe he feuds with Roman Reigns. Who knows? So that's what I'm saying. But, obviously it made sense for Ambrose not to return tonight. Great way to tease us, but it just obviously made sense. I'm going to go ahead and take my only break of the day just to kind of break it up. So here's a word from my brother, Andre, from the Flex Zone.
What's good, everybody? This your boy, Drizzy Dre, Mr. One and Only from the Flex Zone, Mondays at 10 p.m. on WBGR. And right now you are listening to Break It Down with my boy, Brian H., brought to you by The Wrestling Realm.
And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. That was Dre. Make sure you follow Flex Zone Podcast at The Flex Zone 1 on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Actually, on YouTube, search The Flex Zone Podcast. They'll come right up. You can check out The Real Dwayne Allen and I. We want to know, is AJ Styles the greatest of all time? We talked that over with Dre. I think you'll be happy to hear with some of the answers that we came up with. So, Kevin Owens. How about this guy? So he has the Kevin Owens show. They had a makeshift stage on top of the stage. It's a little set, which I thought was interesting because the Kevin Owens show is usually in the ring. But during the show, he was talking about how much Jinder Mahal meant to him. That would lead to Mahal, he said Mahal was so good that he could face Braun Strowman again. And obviously Mahal did not like that. Well, Owens said, nah, you can face him again. You beat him last week by a count out. That would lead to a match that ultimately Kevin Owens would try to get involved and take the briefcase again, and he couldn't. And when Strowman got the briefcase back, he hit Owens and accidentally hit Mahal. Guess what that led to? That led to a disqualification. Mahal up 2-0 against Braun Strowman. And, these two find ways to keep you entertained. Unfortunately, it's a 3-hour show. And you might sometimes be tuned out by the time Kevin Owens gets to your television. Like I said, I love Monday Night Raw. I just don't like what they're doing with it right now. It's too many promo packages. We saw one with Rousey and Alexa Bliss, which we knew the Rousey and Alicia Fox match was not going to go that long. However, we did not need a long promo package. We saw one with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Why are we doing this, folks? So that's my question. Like I said, this doesn't have to be that long. Like, this show will not be that long. So I got another question. If you've been on Twitter this week, you may have seen Matt Hardy's tweets. And it's him just being very thankful. And we saw the B team come out. And the B team, first of all, they got some real cool music. Very, collegiate-esque. But I love it. And then after that match, they got beat up by Hardy and Wyatt. Y'all thought Matt Hardy was retired? So I want to see what happens with that. Would Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy regain their tag titles, or, will the B team eliminate them for good? And then another women's match. We saw Sasha and Bayley team up to go against the Riot Squad's Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. And it was Ruby Riott making a comeback, beating up on Bayley. And, it's just ultimately, this feud is building. So I guess I'm happy to see that if Sasha and Bayley wasn't going to break up, that they're in a meaningful feud with someone. And I would guess we will see Ember Moon get back into this. But we did see Sasha and Bailey discuss to put how they were on Twitter. On Instagram, they discussed how they were going to take over the tag team division, the women's tag team division. So, will we have women's tag titles coming up? Only time will tell. And we're in the show talking about Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman had a heartfelt conversation with Renee Young, where he expressed how much he deeply cares for Brock Lesnar. And Lesnar said last week, are you mooching off me? You're my employee. You're my employee. You aren't my friend. And, I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying Heyman deserves an Oscar for this one. And you just sit back and you watch this. You're like, man, poor guy. He really loves Lesnar. And this just makes me not want to trust him. I think Paul Heyman is going to turn on Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. I hope I'm right. Now, the question is, will he join Braun or will he join Roman? But it's just something about that man. When he's acting very emotional, he's not to be trusted. Remember, when he got so emotional because he cared so deeply for Brock Lesnar that he did not want him facing the Big Show because Lesnar was not 100%. Only for him to turn on Lesnar and help Big Show become the first person to beat Brock and become the new WWE champion. Will that happen? If Brock Lesnar is on his way out, Heyman may be looking for his next meal ticket. So, only time will tell. But ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I wasn't going to keep you on here too long. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you for joining me, spending my birthday with me right here on Break It Down with Brian H. And shout out to everybody. You know what? I will say this. Make sure, if you've been following on Twitter, apparently I've been called out for being a huge WWE fan, and somebody says apologist, and that is by my good brother Terrence, a.k.a. TWT Talking About. He thinks that I think everything WWE does is right, or that I don't want to see some of the lines that are being blurred, when it's actually the case is I choose not to, because it's the one place I can block it out, and when it gets bad, I just turn it off, and I just don't say nothing. I don't tell people I turned it off. But he wants to have a debate. And everybody knows I'd rather converse than have debates. But because Terrence is my good brother from my former residence of Connecticut, I guess that I will have to do so. Because guess what? At the end of the day, it's all going to be fun, love, and respect. So, until the next time, folks, make sure you follow and subscribe to the Wrestling Realm. And make sure you are sharing it with each and every one of your friends. Till the next time, I'm Brian H. Waters. So long, everybody.